Welcome. Let's start on our yoga practice today. We're going to come down just to a nice child's pose position. So extended with the arms, or you can bring them straight back behind you if that feels more comfortable to your shoulders. So from this position, again, you're letting your head fall down, resting your hips down towards your heels, and just let the forehead drop down towards that mat. Roll the shoulders out of your ears. Maybe settle into your hips, wiggle around a little bit just so you can get comfortable in this posture. Now while we're here, we're just breathing in and out through our nose, finding that breath and maintaining the breath in the entire practice today. Lift up to all fours. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, and we're going to move to that cat-cow position. So from here, drop your belly down, let your back arch, and then from here, you're going to lift your chest up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, roll that tailbone underneath you, press into your palms, really stretch out that back. And then inhale, drop it back down. Exhale, roll back up with the back. And take a few at your own pace. But remember that we're breathing the entire time, continuous breath. Let's take one more time through both of those, and we're going to meet in a flat back after those two postures. From that position, curl back into that downward facing dog. So from your plank position, you're simply going to lift your hips up to the ceiling, maybe walk your heels a little bit back and forth, stretching out those calves. You can shrug your shoulders up and down, creating a little space with those ears. You can bend and straighten the knees, really feeling the body start to warm up while we're here. And then simply walk our feet behind our wrists, wide-legged forward fold. So from here, grab onto opposite elbows with our palms, bringing your chin into our collarbones, swaying a little bit side to side, massaging that tummy, massaging that back while we're here. Good. Let your hands fall back down towards that floor. Tuck your belly button in. Roll your spine up as we stand up tall, really nice and tall to our mountain pose, hands up over our heads. Exhale, hands, heart center, middle of our chest. Take it again. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, hands, heart center. One more time. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, hands all the way down, forward fold towards the toes, tummy tucks. Inhale to our halfway lift. So hands are going to come on our shins. Squeeze your shoulder blades back and together, create length through your spine. And from here, we're going to move into our chaturanga. So we're moving to 3 chaturangas. So hands are going to come down into the floor. Knees or toes are onto that mat. You choose back as flat. Lower downward towards that mat. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, draw back downwards, downward facing dog. Hips stretch to the ceiling. Take a deep inhale to prepare. Exhale, walk those feet between your hands. Forward fold, feet are together. Inhale, halfway lift. Chest comes out. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose, hands above your head. And then exhale all the way down, forward fold towards your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank. Bring your feet back, lower down. Inhale, up. Exhale, back. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, step your feet between your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale to your mountain pose. Straighten out your limbs. Exhale, take it down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank, chaturanga dandasana. Lower it down. Inhale, arching. Exhaling, drawing back, downward facing dog. Hopefully you're starting to warm up that body just a little bit more. Just to confirm this, we're going to bring our feet between our hands and step into our chair pose. So feet are together, knees are squeezed tightly, one together. Bring your hands up overhead, tighten that tailbone underneath you and hold here and breathe. Breathing here for 4. We're here for 3, 2, forward fold and 1. Hands to heart center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, mountain pose, hands up over our heads. Exhale, chair pose, sit down low. Second time through, sitting a little bit lower this time around, still feeling pressure in our heels, scooping that belly button in. Hold here, reach those fingertips a little higher, staying here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward fold downwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, mountain pose, last time through. Exhale, chair pose, sit down low. As low as you feel you can tolerate right now, keep squeezing the thighs together. Look down just for a moment, check out so you can still see those toes beneath you. Hold here, breathe. Here for 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Forward fold, upper body relaxes. Inhale, halfway lift, chest comes out. Exhale, high to low plank, bring it back. Any variation, chaturanga, does that feel good to you? You can always skip it as well. But meet back, downward facing dog. Hips rise up towards that ceiling. All right, let's lift up that right leg up as high as you can, and then bring it through the opening between your hands. Forward fold with those feet. Back knee comes down to meet that mat. We're going to bring our hands on top of that right knee. Lift your chest up and hold here. Breathe. Should feel really nice and open through that front left hip, maybe even through that right inner thigh. Hold here. Good. Bring your hands down between your hands, and we're going to shimmy our hips backwards, modified splits, toes raise up towards the ceiling, chest lifts up. Again, that knee doesn't have to be completely straight, but we're just going in that general direction. Hold here and breathe. Good. Set that right foot back down. Push your hips forward. Curl the left toe under. You're going to lift that left knee away from that mat. Lift up to crescent lunge. Arms reach over your head. Hold here and breathe. Building some heat in the legs. Shoulders stay relaxed. Stay here for 4. Here for 3. High to low plank in 2. And 1. Hands back down to that floor. Shimmy your hips back. High to low plank. Chaturanga. Lift it up. Exhale. Draw it back. Inhale, left leg high, float it. Exhale, step that left foot between the hands. Right knee steps down onto that mat. We're going to lift up, reach as tall as you can with your chest floating to the ceiling. Press your hips forward, tuck that tailbone under. Feel that giant stretch to that right hip. Hold. Good. Bring your hands back down to that floor. Shimmy your hips backwards. Feel that nice big stretch through that left hamstring. Pull that left toe up towards the ceiling. Try to flatten out that back as best as your body will allow you to, and hold. Set the left foot back down, curl that back toe under, reach your right knee away from that mat, lift up, crescent lunge. Once again, 2 separate lanes for your feet. Sit down as low as you can, still keeping that tailbone tucked under. Hold here and breathe. For 4. Here for 3. In 2. And 1. Hands back down to that floor. Shift that left foot back, high to low plank. Chaturanga Tadasana, lower it down, lifting up. Downward facing dog. Use your breath to move that entire sequence. Good. Inhale, right leg high. We're going to move on. Exhale, step that right foot between your hands. So again, we're moving to our low lunge to start with. Inhale, crescent. Arms are going to reach up over your head. Stretch up as tall as you can. And then we're going to exhale to warrior 2. Spread your hands away from one another. We're bending into that right knee. Holding here, tucking that tailbone under. Hold and breathe.
Good. Inhale, rise up with that right hand, reversing our warrior. Right knee stays bent. About 90-degree bend with our knee if possible. Hold here. Good. We're going to windmill our hands down. So we're first coming towards that right knee. We're going to float back towards that back leg. Straighten out through your front knee. Left knee's going to come down and bend. We're opening up that hamstring, those hip adductors. Still keeping the chest lifted. You can always place your hands on some blocks too if needed. But hold here and breathe. Good. Lift back up to the center, Parsarada. So toes are going to point towards the middle of your hips. And from here, your chest is slightly lifted. You're hinging forward, hinging from the hips, flattening out the back, feeling a nice big stretch those hamstrings once again. Good. Inhale, halfway lift, flattening out the back. We're going to exhale, windmill over to that right foot, bend the left knee, setting it down, runner's lunge. So hands inside of that right thigh. You can keep your hands on the floor or you can come down to your forearms. We're holding here and just breathing. Good. Curl yourself back up. Bring that right foot back to meet your left. Downward facing dog. Hips rise up towards the ceiling. We're going to inhale our left leg high this time and then float that left foot between the hands. Low lunge. Two separate lanes for those feet. Inhale, crescent. Nice strong legs. Reaching the fingertips up high and tall. Holding here for 3. In 2, warrior 2. In 1, open up, left hand forward, right hand back, bending into that left knee. Looking towards that left middle finger, pressing equally into both legs. Hold here and just breathe. For 4. Here for 3, reversing our warrior in 2. And 1, left hand floats up. Lift your torso out of your hips, but bend a little deeper into that left knee. Stay with it. Here for 3. Here for 2, windmilling our hands back towards our right foot in 1. So we're going to bring our hands first towards our left, then all the way back towards that back leg. Keeping that left leg as straight as we can, lifting up that chest and just holding. You may feel a little calf stretch, those hip adductors, the inside of those thighs, the back of the thighs. Just a nice way to get to that lower body while we're here. Good. Come back to your center. Lift up your hips. Lower your forehead down towards that floor. Taking a nice deep inhale. Exhale, lower a little bit more. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, transition to that runner's lunge on that left foot forward. Right knee down. Forearms can be down onto that mat. Again, any variation that feels good to you, but let your forehead drop down. Bring your hands back down onto that floor. Curl that right toe under. Kick up, downward facing dog. Paddle through those heels, however much feels good to you. We're going to take a nice deep inhale to repair. Exhale, step the feet between the hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, mountain pose, hands up over your head. Exhale, take it down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Tadasana. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Okay. Once you've gone through that sun salutation, we're going to take a deep inhale to prepare ourselves. And as we exhale, step our feet all the way through to take a seat on our mats. From here, lengthen out your legs. Hands can come out in front of you. Otherwise, you can take it, roll it down all the way, or roll down to your side first, and then lay down onto your back. From this position, we're going to bring our feet in towards our hips, cross our right leg up and over our left. We're squeezing our thighs together. We're bringing our arms off to the sides. However much room you can allow for your hands, we're going to twizzle those legs off to our left side with that right shoulder staying down. Hold here and breathe. Now we're creating space through our spine, but we're keeping our right shoulder grounded onto that floor and just holding here. Good. Draw back to your center. Keep those legs engaged as you do. Uncross that right leg. Lift the left leg up and over. Squeeze the thighs towards one another. And we're going to drape the legs off to your right side this time. Left shoulder stays down. We're again finding length through your torso. So finding a little lift here. Letting that left shoulder stay down onto the mat the entire time. Good. Draw back to your center. Keep those thighs engaged. Use the core to draw back to center. Unwind those legs. Hug your knees into your chest. You're going to give them a little sway side to side, massaging that lower back as you do. And then from here, we're going to straighten out our left leg. Right knee comes up towards our left shoulder. It's a nice way to get that back of the hip to just stretch out just a little bit more. Try to maintain as much contact with the back of the hip on the floor as you possibly can. Again, you can always drape your right arm off to the side to assist you with that. Draw back to your center. You're going to bring the right leg down. Left knee comes up and crossing it over towards our midline, towards that right shoulder. You can also put a little pressure downwards into that left hip to open it up. Otherwise, maintain the hand across the side. All right, bring that left knee back towards that left shoulder, right knee towards that right shoulder. Squeeze everything as tightly as you possibly can together, bringing that chin into your collarbones, tiny, tiny ball, taking a deep inhale as we do. And as we exhale, let the legs just relax down onto our mat. Hands come to our sides, finding a comfortable position for final Shavasana. And we're just breathing here, letting our eyes closed, finding any last minutes of twitching that we need to adjust to get out of our body while we're here. And then gently relax down into that mat, letting gravity secure you and hold you in place. Contemplating the breath as it flows in and out of your body. Now feel a little warmth and velvet though. And again, it's starting onto your toes and making its way up your legs towards your hips. Letting that warmth travel all the way to your back, shoulders, down and up your arms, making its way to your neck. And eventually to your shoulders, your ears, your face. And letting everything else just melt down into that mat, letting it go. But feeling a little positivity with that warmth that's surrounding you right now. As you're here, let everything pass by you, every little thought that's not necessary to hear at this exact moment. But being focused on that breath. For those of you that like to stay here in our final Shavasana, feel free to. Otherwise, if there's a place to go or something that you have going on, wiggle your toes, wiggle your feet, wiggle your hands and wrists. And then bringing that sensation so much to your knees that they bend and you're able to place your feet back onto your mat. From here, you're going to roll to your side, coming to your side lying fetal position, resting your head gently in your arms, or where feels comfortable for you today.
We're keeping our eyes closed just for a little bit longer as we peel our bodies away from that mat. Come to sit up as tall as you can, feeling your hips press down into that mat. We'll allow our, again, spines to grow really nice and tall, crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. We're going to bring our hands to our heart center, that middle of that chest, lifting our chest just a little higher towards our thumbs, opening up our hearts, but feeling grounded through our hips. Bring our thumbs to our third eye center, that space right in the middle of your eyebrows. Good. Bringing the thumbs to that seat of enlightenment. Opening up our minds here as well. Thank you all for joining me today. Namaste.